I should ask the
Looks like the chambers. Yep.
Hi, ready? Kevin.
He's not coming?
Having surgery, his wife's having a thing. I'm going to call the August 20th recess meeting to order. All aldermen are present except for Alderman Papania, and let the record show that. Before we get started on the accepting the agenda and the invocation of the pledge, these meetings have gotten a little bit out of order the last 6 months or so. We have established a code of conduct for this room on all meetings, whether it's a city meeting for board, planning, ZAB, whatever. We're asking everybody for respectful behavior, no interruptions, we want orderly participation, adhere to the time limits, no disruptive behavior. Consequences of disruption: first time you will be warned, second time you will be asked to leave. Recording devices are allowed, but as long as they're not interfering with the meeting. And we want all participants to comply with the procedures set forth by the board for these meetings. So hopefully these meetings are when the city does the city business. It's not for disruptive behavior. We have people that are trying to give presentations, and we've got people back behind them that are heckling, basically. This is for the board to do business. So those were posted up on the screens when you came in. I don't know if you saw them or not, but that's how we're going to operate these meetings from this point on. Mrs. Glorioso, will you lead us in the invocation, and Mr. Blackman in the pledge. Please stand.
Everybody, please bow your head. Lord, thank you for bringing us together today in the spirit of generosity. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blackman, second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have 3 presentations tonight. The first one will be with the Ocean Springs School District for their 24-25 ad valorem request. Dr. Lindsay.
Good evening, board and the mayor. Thank you guys for allowing us to come tonight. Just wanted to give you a brief presentation, give you a quick update on the school district. We've been in school a little over 2.5 weeks now. We've had a great start. Where enrollment is up to almost 6,000 students. We're about 5,800 students right now, so we're excited about our enrollment. Our academic test scores and achievement scores came in last week. They were approved by the board, the State Board of Education. They're still under embargo, but they did release some general numbers, and I'm proud to say that the Ocean Springs School District is one of 2 school districts in the state of 147 school districts that scored in the top 10 in all 4 areas. So we're excited about that. Us in Long Beach, the rankings will come out September 17th, so we'll have some more good news. We hope for that. As you know, we were the #1 school district last year. We're keeping our fingers crossed. We don't know what the outcome is, that we're back-to-back #1. And that's just a testament to our teachers and our students and the performances that they do every day. So we appreciate them. A couple of upcoming, next week, next Thursday, we're doing the ribbon cutting on our new athletic field house. Each of you will get an invitation if you haven't already done so. We'd love for you to come out and tour the new field house, and we'll do the ribbon cutting Thursday at 5 o'clock. So we'll get those invitations out to you guys. And tonight, we're presenting our ad valorem request. You'll see that on the agenda. I want to thank you guys again for your support and the partnership with the school district so we can all serve the students and the children of the Ocean Springs community. If you guys have any questions, I'll take those. If not,
No, I don't, anybody have any questions? Comments? Congratulations on a great start to the school year. And we'll all be waiting for that #1 ranking again.
yes, sir, that's what we're hoping for.
That's what we're hoping for. Anyway, it's very important to the community, it's very important to the city. Your school district is always the shining light of Ocean Springs, and we appreciate what y'all do.
And it's a testament to our teachers, a testament to our students, and the community support and the support from the city, and I'm looking for many more years to continue that partnership with the city. So thank you guys for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'll make a motion to approve that ad valorem request.
Ms. Dippy?
Second.
Mr. Blackman? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next presentation is by Path Company. Lee Watkins is here for his presentation.
I guess it's fitting that I'm going second after the #1 rated school district in the state, so congratulations Superintendent Lindsay for that again. And hope to see you #1 this year as well. Thank you, Mayor and the board, for having us tonight. Again, Rudy Watkins from Path Company. It's been a little while since you last saw me. We were spending, the last several months dating back to last year, collecting the billing information, how the city operates its facilities, and how it consumes its utilities. Did what we call a feasibility study. Want to review the results of that analysis, kind of see what opportunities here in the city of Ocean Springs to save on your utility consumption with today's technologies, talk about next steps, answer any questions, and keep this under 4 minutes. So that's the goal, and that's where we're going at. Cool. Y'all stop me at any point during my presentation if you have questions. So this first page that you see here kind of lays out our process. This is the kick the tires aspect of the process, right? We need to see what type of opportunities are here in the city of Ocean Springs to save on your utilities, your electric, gas, and water, as well as become more efficient with your buildings, right? If we were to come back and say, hey, based on the data, the city's doing a great job, we shake your hand and appreciate the information that you gave us and go about our ways. The good news is we found some opportunities today. We'll talk about what the next step is in the process. So if you go to that next slide, right, these are kind of the meat and potatoes of what this, and it's all in front of you. I apologize, I didn't send an electronic version. The board has a copy in front of them. If you look at that next slide, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of what our analysis uncovered, right? You operate about 200,000 square feet worth of facilities, but your annual utility bill is about $1.2 million a year. Now, a big chunk of that are your street lights, and we'll talk more about that here in a second. But some of that is also in what you could consume amongst the buildings that you own and operate, which is about $400,000 or $500,000 a year. There's obviously opportunities because you're operating at about $1.75 a square foot across your facilities. So we want to see that around $1.50, $1.25. Those are the more efficient buildings as you look across the data. Energy Star provides that. It's a federal program that really judges the city's buildings, how they operate across other cities across the U.S. And so we know that just by that data point and that spread, that there's opportunities here in the city. Right? And as we sit here today, we think conservatively we're going to implement some of these projects, right? Whatever LED lighting may be available, some tweaks on your HVAC systems, how they operate in the summertime, right? As well as a few others. There's an opportunity to save at a minimum around $60,000 to $70,000 a year on the city's utilities bills. It's mainly geared towards the buildings side of things, right? The street lights, again, are kind of another animal, and I'll get more into that. But that's kind of what the opportunity looks like today. Cool. You go to the next slide, you got a table there, right? That's all your buildings that we've broken out by square footage. If you look at the ones that are in red, the $2 203 at the planning department, at City Hall, planning department, one of the fire stations, and the community center. Anything above $2 a square foot, $3 a square foot, that's where you have some opportunities, right? Those are really high consumption rates. Yes, they're all operated differently. Community centers usually have people inside of them, people going in and out, so the doors are going to be left open. You're going to have hot air coming in. It's going to work harder to keep up with those temperatures. But those are still pretty high. So that's, if we were to do a project, we were to move forward to the next step, that's where we would focus, are those main buildings where we know the data tells us, hey, we got some opportunities to save some money. Cool. Next slide over, here are some of the areas that, this is just really another data point on the pie graph of where the city is spending its money. A lot of it is on the, if you see the yellow color there, that's lights, that's really misrepresentative. It's really your street lights, right, that you have here with Mississippi Power and Senior River. About 15% of that is Parks and Rec, and about only 22% of that is your buildings, which we would mainly focus on. But some of the things that we would initially analyze are, hey, where can we set back some of your buildings at night by automating your HVAC controls? Where can we insert some more energy efficient HVAC systems? Those types of things. Weatherproof your buildings, let's sure them up so that we're being good stewards of the city's taxpayer dollars, and into the future making sure that we continue to maintain our facilities. Cool? All right, last one is another bar graph. I don't like words, I like pictures. That's kind of how I learn and see things. Hopefully everybody else feels the same way, so that's what we got. That red line there is, again, is another data point, $1.50 a square foot. Anything above that line, again, is where we would kind of focus our efforts initially. We know that at the Ocean Springs Sportsplex, those lights have not been converted over to LED as a long-term maintenance and operations, as well as a utility savings opportunity. So that's one of the areas we would focus again. And so you see here with this bar graph, these are several different areas where, again, we would focus our efforts and look for opportunities to lower that below $1.50 with today's technology, right? So we've got all this information here today. I know that the board will obviously need some time to chew on this and marinate on it. The next step is actually pretty low risk, kind of like this step was. The next step is actually doing RFQ versus RFP. It's kind of the chicken and the egg problem. We don't know what it costs to save money until we go and develop it and see what it costs to build it, right? Costs to implement it. And so that RFP process, something that some of your neighbors have just gone through as well. Jackson County, we're actually just signed up working with the county just down the street, other surrounding areas as well. Go through that process. The only risk that you have there really is a newspaper ad advertising that. If you get through the end of that process, you interview other companies like us, and you think, man, this just isn't for Ocean Springs, we're not really interested in this, then you don't have to do anything at all. But if you think this is worth your time and brings value to the long-term efforts of the city and the board, then we can start by developing some of these projects, bringing a buffet of options of what it costs and what it saves. And the cool thing about this process is it's really designed build deferred maintenance, right? That's kind of what this process is. Instead of low-bid contracting that lends to a certain product or a certain process, this gives the board a lot more control over the deferred maintenance projects that you wish to tackle over the next 2, 3, 5 years. So our team hopefully will be a good partner in building out that kind of capital plan and kind of showing you on the front end, what are the low-hanging fruits, what's the quick return on investments, and what are some of your long-term plays that you can start to tackle as well. I've done a lot of talking, maybe that was 4.5 minutes. Sure, everybody here can hear this.
You're good, you're good. Does anybody have any questions?
I have one thing, Rudy. I thank you for doing this for us.
Yeah.
We did something similar to this, maybe 4 or 5 years ago through the power company. Has been longer than that. Time kind of flies, but it was a very good savings for the city when we did it. And I'm sure there's more out there that we can save, and I would not mind trying to go for that RFQ and move forward. We'll discuss that later.
For sure, and I'm always happy to come back and answer additional questions and get more feedback, and we're happy to provide a list of references of folks who just kind of show me, don't tell me, right? Who have gone through this process and looking for opportunities to save their cities as well.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, presentation of the Arts and Cultural Coordinator and Mary C. update.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? I'm excited to present today. It's been a minute since I've given you guys an update on how Mary C's doing. We're nearly 4 years in since I started, and when I started this presentation a few months ago. I got it all laid out, picked out the points I wanted to show you guys and update you on, and then pulled it out last week and really got into the nitty-gritty and started tinkering and finessing it. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional because I don't really stop, and I don't really take a moment to, take in the fruits of my labor, and it really kind of blew me away how much progress has happened, and also how many people are invested now. So our baseline mission for local creatives, which was started in 2017, was connecting community with creatives, and we only evolved it through arts-based education and experiences when I took over as the coordinator at the Mary C. And so this baseline mission has only evolved through, a group of creative entrepreneurs, which has grown into our partners at the Mary C. And it's been a very successful business model for us. Hey, Ray. Thanks. This is our team. This is our Mary C. team. I'm very proud to present this team because there was just me at the beginning, and soon after an admin. It wasn't the one I have now, but this group has evolved in such a way. They all have a place at the Mary C. They're all leaders, and they have found their place and helped me with everything. And I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more thankful for not only how they show up every day, the skill sets that they bring. They couldn't be more custom fit for the needs of the Mary C. An admin at City Hall is very different than an admin that's needed at the Mary C. We cater to a lot of partners and also the entire community. And communication is everything. And we all interact with our customers in the same notion that I would if it were just me. And I don't normally trust people to, I don't let go of control and trust people. And I feel like with each one of these employees or subcontractors in some way, they all step up and present themselves as if I would. So I'm very proud of this team that's been built. This is the first year I've had a staff, a true staff, to really accomplish all the categories, all the parts of the building. So I want to say thank you to Sarah Posey, our Arts and Culture Coordinator Assistant. Our newest addition, Mr. Gary Cooper, who does not have a beautiful headshot yet, but I figured this photo was a perfect sum of him.
Thanks, sir.
Deborah Craig is our lobby concierge. She's from the senior program, and she's just gone above and beyond to help us welcome our guests. Pat Pinson is our continued curator. She's been with me since day one. Chris Duncan and Mason Holland are our theater technicians, and they are incredibly skilled, educated in all sound and lighting engineering. They were found through a partnership with the Mississippi Songwriters Alliance, and they've really just helped the theater step up to what it is today. Devin Carter is a partner with One More Sleep Production. He's one of our theater partners, and he comes and steps in for any theater and event needs. Currently, he is writing our scripts for the cemetery tour. He also did it last year. Then we have a volunteer coordinator, which is huge and super necessary. She's also one of our partners. SWAG, it's Serious Writers and Authors Group. She's been with us since 22 and has stepped up this year to help us with our volunteers. And then our OG volunteer, Adam Meadows, he is an actor. He's been in several of the new plays that have been put on by the Shine Theater production, and he is our true help in the lobby. So I just want to say thank you to my staff and for being a great team. We now have 60 partners. The partners in blue are the most active. Again, our business model is based off of our partnerships. They create all activity, programming, events. truly couldn't do what we do without them, but it's very mutual. One of the big goals of the Mary C is to create opportunities for creative entrepreneurs, and we only take 25% of the activity that they bring. So this is very much helped pull a branch of their studio into the Mary C and let it grow. My goal this next year, is to work more directly with the partners now that everything has been built. Maintaining those partnerships. I know a lot of these people. Many of them were local creatives before they were partners at the Mary C. But working directly with them is one of my most favorite parts of my job. So I wanted to highlight a few of our partners who have come in hardcore in 2024. Jesse Hawkins has brought a sensory room to the Mary C. We're also working on a few other spaces. We have a children's nook where kids come to read, and we have reading hours, and she's going to help us evolve that for sensory needs. But right now we have a sensory room in our local creatives gallery. I'll show you more on that later. Joni is our new belly dancing teacher, and she's just been incredibly popular, and her heart and her spirit are as great as her classes. We're very grateful for her. Shine Theater has come in this past year as a partner, and they've so far put on 4 productions, and they have booked 5, so they're booked through the end of 2025. We have just added another partner with Dynamic Enrichment Network, or DEN. They are putting Beauty and the Beast on in 2024, November 2024. And they are our 3rd theater group that we're partnering with. So rotating theater groups is, it's interesting. But we're doing it, and everybody is grateful, and we're making it work. So, and then David Bryan, he is a partner from Hattiesburg. He is a professor at William Perry, and he plays Spanish guitar, and it's absolutely beautiful. He's set up several events with us that he's put on for free for the public, and they've been incredibly successful, as well as workshops. And then he'll turn around and start, having his workshops where he charges. But this last year, he's pretty much done everything for free and has brought so many incredible experiences. I've never heard anyone so talented on a guitar in my life. And then, of course, at the very beginning is Dana Brown. She is our youth art director, and she has been with us since day one and just continues to thrive in her class and bring so many different classes and projects to these kids. We've had the same kids for the last 4 years, and I think that shows success in itself. So every year we have 4 rosters. We have a fall, winter, spring, and summer. And this is what it looks like. This is 2 pages of it. And then there's several pages of description that goes into each one of the categories, but I didn't put all that on there. I just wanted you to see what it looks like. On an average, we have about 60 programs a year that we put on. Each season has different numbers of programming, and not every category gets filled every season. So we're just kind of figuring that out and seeing what's popular when, and who wants to do what when, and also, what's falling off and what we need to pay attention to. In 2023, I paid close attention to the theater, and it is showing today for sure. So this past year, we've been focusing on the culinary kitchen and sensory learning. So hopefully all of that will start to show visually to you guys soon. I think the sensory room has already. And what's important too is, we get all these people invested, but we got to make sure that we're promoting the most effectively. So just so everyone knows, we have a newsletter monthly, we have an e-blast weekly, and we have a daily social media carousel. We try to keep up with, what's working with the algorithms, and if anything changes, which changes all the time, we try and do our research and make sure that we're getting information out there as best as possible. This year, we've had 7,600, just over 7,600 theater attendance. We've had 37 shows so far, with 15 more booked. And then visitors just to the Mary C, just over 5,000, so a total of 12,635 visitors this year. Our months that are most popular are March, April, May, and July. We get these numbers not through any sort of device or technology. The lobby concierge and the facility technician keep up with these numbers. So basically, anything that happens there, they're documenting. So through our partnerships and a few years of seeing what everybody's wanting to do, we've partnered with several of these main events. So we have the Mississippi Songwriters Festival, the OS Jewelry and Art Fair with the Gem and Mineral Club. So the Songwriters Festival is with Mississippi Songwriters Alliance. And then the Jewelry and Art Fair is with our Gem and Minerals partner. And then we do Earth Day with the Environmental Alliance. And Delta Rising is one of the newest ones. So the last three, I take that back. The last one is the one that we added this year. And the other ones we've done just about every year that I've been here. So now we know how to work with them. We know what they want. We co-host with them on these main events. And then we also host and put on our own events. So some of the upcoming events that are free to the community are the Ocean Springs Cemetery Tour. That's October 17th. Spooky Springs at the Scary Sea. That's October 25th and 26th. And the Christmas tree lighting on December 5th. This is all at the Mary C, or starts at the Mary C. The cemetery tour this year will be at the Belandy Cemetery instead of Evergreen. But again, it starts at the Mary C, and we bus them over after a little presentation or moment at the Mary C. The auditions, if you're interested in participating in the cemetery tour, are August 31st from 3 to 5 p.m. in the Tremont Theater. Again, those scripts are being written by One More Sleep Productions, Devin Carter. So we've added, up until now, we've only done partner activities. So this year, we've added the monthly mashup, which is brought to you by the Mary C. and Poets Cafe. The monthly mashup is basically a vendor partner market, and you can sell, create, or you can sell product or create an experience, or just have information. And then the Poets Cafe is actually a really cool event. I can't really believe how popular it's been, but I did write some poems and I did present them, and they told me that I needed therapy when I was done. And I've been like since high school, so I thought I was doing pretty good. But at least they were moving, I suppose. So, if you want to move to the next one, thank you. So, going into some development projects. The courtyard enclosure has been quite a project. I've been working on it for a couple years, going back and forth with, what materials we want to use, with the specific budget we have for it, what archives and history will allow, and also just what I like, what I can accept is what's going to be physical one day. So if you see the two photos at the top, those are the areas that we're trying to enclose to allow a little bit more of a private area for the courtyard. The first set of design was the first draft, the second was the second draft, and I'm working on a third draft. The little logo looking piece over courtyard enclosure, that might even be an idea. So if any of you want to talk with me about this, I would love it. I need a little bit of direction because it's just hard to make something that that's gonna live on a historical property and also that everyone's gonna love. So I just want to make it perfect, and until we get the right design down, we're just going to keep making drafts and working through it. Another development project that's happened over the last few years is the gift shop. Definitely did not want to take away from the historic building, the natural light in the lobby. So it is actually walled with acrylic. Anything that you're seeing in there was already in the Mary C. We just painted everything white and unified it for display. And it just came together really nicely. We have tie-dye t-shirts that we tie-dyed at the Mary C. and screen printed. And we have Bleats t-shirts. And then, of course, any of our partners or local creators can sell in there. So that's another opportunity for them. If you haven't checked out the gift shop, come check it out. It's really beautiful. Next, So we've had some lawn improvements. I wanted to show you guys the irrigation that got put in, and the middle photo is literally one side is sodded and the other side is dirt still. It was such a cool moment to come by before they sodded the rest of it. And then the last photo is when it's all said and done. It is absolutely beautiful. So grateful to go to work every day and see people enjoying this lawn, and it's a work of art in itself. The building is being honored by the changes that were made to the lawn. So we're coming up on our 100th birthday in 2027. So hopefully by then we'll learn how to water this stuff and keep it cut the right height. The last thing we've been working on is continuing to unify the branding of the Mary C. and what it's about, and we've got our offering flags and our new banners on the door, or on the side of the doors, and I think it's really starting to tie in all the different things that we offer, and it's made it easier for us on the inside to start, creating signage and also working on the History Museum expansion, have a color palette and a little bit of direction. So I hope you guys are enjoying the new color palette. I wanted to show you the sensory room for the local creatives gallery. This was brought to you by one of our partners, Jesse Hawkins. This is now open to the public. There's sound, smells, light, textures. If you need that, if you need a calm space, if you need a space to go, even have a meeting or just take a moment to yourself, this is the space. It'll be up for the next quarter. It's super interesting. You gotta go check it out. You might end up taking a nap though. In the Duggett Gallery, we have the Ocean Liners exhibit, which was curated by Andy Calverberg. He is now also on our History Museum expansion team. As you can see, he's quite the curator. All of these things in these two exhibit rooms are from his home. There are also ship models built, not by him, but they are incredible. If you've not seen this exhibit, it's of course the Titanic's in there, but there's other ocean liners that are exhibited and talked about. It is beautiful. It'll be up through the end of September. Go check it out. So I have not had a lot of time for outreach. As the head of the Mary C, I'm supposed to be doing that, and I try to network. I don't really like socializing a whole lot and drinking and smoozing. I would rather be doing something. So this was one of the efforts where I didn't actually have to leave the building. Raven and I started a podcast called City Culture, and we bring leaders on and talk about different things that they're doing for the community, and just discuss challenges and inspiration and where we're all at in the year that we are. We've had 2 seasons and 18 episodes. It has been a challenge and so much fun, and we hope to continue this project. We've even thought we should break up some of the segments, because they are 45-minute episodes, and just kind of spit it out there so you guys can see the people that you interact with daily, and kind of get like a blip of what they're doing for our community. It's truly inspirational. It's a fun conversation, a fun podcast. Another way that I feel I've been able to do some outreach is through different projects the city has assigned to me, and one of them is the Fort mural. It's a seek and find mural at the playground at Fort Marathon. This became more of an outreach project than I realized, just because all the kids that take classes at the Mary C end up at that playground, and they're like, "Oh my God, Miss Sarah, is that you? I didn't know you were an artist," and then they end up either helping, or we have these really great conversations, and just that connection to where they realize that I'm an artist and I have a creative career, but what I'm also doing at the Mary C. It's a realization that I see in their eyes, and that's something that's always been the most fulfilling to me. I'm loving this project. It's coming together, finally putting some icons into this abstract mural, where you can actually seek and find something, because right now you probably don't know what to find. It's very organic and abstract. So once this one is finished, we did the logo at the Mary C for the City of Ocean Springs, the ball drop for the New Year's Eve ball drop, and then now this, and then the next thing that's going to happen, the police and fire department have already approached me about some murals happening at their department. So very excited to do that with them and continue to connect with my fellow department heads. I really can't say enough about my team and also the City of Ocean Springs and the family that that has been, placed into my life, a work family. I've never experienced that. I've always been an artist in a studio alone, doing my thing, and this has just been a wild 4 years. I've probably definitely gone over 10 minutes because I don't know how to follow the rules. So, last but not least, I just want to invite you all to come to the Mary C. It has been updated in so many ways. It has life in it. There's an energy there that is impeccable. My staff continues to help me keep that energy there. And I want to say there's a big history museum expansion project going on, and there's a lot to show for it. I feel it's a separate presentation though. There's so much going on, and I want to tell you all about it, but that's going to be a separate presentation. So guys, please come check us out. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 4 p.m. And I just want to say thanks for all the opportunities. I'm super grateful, and I love you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Sarah.
Since you love us so much, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
hold you about the time, okay?
Before we move on, Mayor, I just want to give Ms. Carter's credit. When she came on board a few years ago, we tasked her with getting the Mary C where it should be with programming, because in prior years, it was very hit and miss. But there's not a day goes by, there's not multiple programs going on in that building now. And she more than met expectations. I think she exceeded my expectations for that building. And if you haven't gone to see a production there or some of the programs there, you're missing out. The theater productions at the Mary C rival any place on the coast. My wife and I were there this weekend to see the Shrine Theater production of Into the Woods. I mean, you will never be disappointed if you go and spend some time at the Mary C. And thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, and the Delta Rising show was incredible. I hope they come back again next year. Great show.
The Ocean Liners one, I loved the story of the gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he actually survived the Titanic, and then there was another ship that he was on that sunk. And it was like, wow, dude, don't get on ships anymore. It was really interesting.
All right, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a public hearing. It's to adopt an ordinance redistricting the 6 wards of the City of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and providing that the election precincts shall be synonymous. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So move.
Second. Mr. Aldermen, second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Carolyn?
Yeah, this is a follow-up from the last meeting. We showed you the map and I got you to accept it, both accept it and accept the criteria that we use to reconfigure and calibrate the wards, and also to set this public hearing. So that's what brings us today. We did not receive any input on this map. It was available to the public and advertised. And essentially, just to recap, by law, the wards have to, once you establish an average per ward based on the latest census, each ward has to be within 5% of that average. So that's the first thing you look at. So with that as the goal, we work with GRPC with their software to do that calculation. The other factors were trying to keep the incumbent aldermen in their wards where their addresses were, also to not divide any census blocks. That's where it gets a little tricky, because the Census Bureau sets those census block, the numbers and the shapes, and if you split them in half, it may make sense to you, but it makes the reporting and the calculations just insane. So those were the things that we did. I think we came up with a really good redistribution of the redistricting. If we hadn't annexed, we probably wouldn't have had any change or nothing major. And I think this came out as predicted. It's mostly impacting Ward 5 and 6 with some shifting over in Wards 3 and 4. So we have that available. I don't know if you want to put it up on the screen. It's twisted, okay.
Everyone just tilt your head.
And we can provide that, but essentially this was the same map that we provided to you last time. And it's just here for your official adoption. The next steps after this is we have engaged Butler's Note to write our legal description from this. They'll just take that information, write the legal description, and give us what we need to send to the county so that we'll meet our deadlines for all getting it into the SIMS and the other systems. So that's what you have in front of you.
Anybody have any questions for Karen? Is there anyone from the public like to speak for or against the redistricting ordinance? Okay. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blackman, second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Make a motion. I make a motion we adopt an ordinance redistricting the 6 wards of the city of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and providing that the election precincts shall be synonymous.
We got a motion by Mr. Aldermen, second by Ms. Burgess. I need a roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is agenda public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Only regarding issues listed on this agenda. Please identify yourself and the agenda item before speaking. Okay, moving on to new business. Item A, 6A is authorize the execution of funding award from Mississippi Office of Homeland Security, Police Traffic Services, FY25 resolution. Karen?
Yeah, this is an application that we put in for overtime. It just covers overtime pay for the police department to conduct checkpoint and saturation patrols. In the past, you may be familiar with this grant. We have gotten it specifically for DUI enforcement and seatbelt enforcement. Now they've created one that's a little more generalized, which gives us some flexibility on times and participation. So it will cover overtime only for those activities, and it just is on new business. I need to have their resolution as a roll call.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Do we have a motion to authorize the execution of funding award from the Mississippi?
I'll make a motion to authorize the execution of funding award from Mississippi Office of Homeland Security, Police and Traffic Services, fiscal year 25.
Motion by Mr.
Second
Blackman,
that motion.
second by Mr. Cox. You said you need a roll call?
Yeah.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on is the consent agenda. I think we've got one to pull.
Item T.
Which one?
Item T.
T. Okay, we got two to pull.
All right, well, I got Q, R, and S.
Q, R, and S. Okay.
Clarification.
Okay. And I need a motion to approve the consent agenda with the items that we're pulling out separately. Q, R, S, and T.
Mayor, can we clarify which all QRST, is that it?
Q, R, S, and T.
Okay.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Impey,
Second.
second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item Q.
Q, I just had a question for Carter, if you don't mind. Usually that comes to us through the planning commission, and I see it went through the zoning and adjustments. What,
No, they've always, the variances are approved through the zoning and adjustment board. Planning commission does not approve them.
okay, so that's,
No, sir.
okay, I just want to make sure we're following exactly like
Yes,
we
sir.
have been doing.
We have,
variances.
same thing.
All right, well, I want to make a motion, we move to approve item Q.
Okay, got a motion by Mr. Cox,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I said wait.
Item R is for the Front Beach Marina and bulkhead construction. I just want that for clarification, that this is strictly for the bulkhead construction. There is no marina being built.
Yeah, no, that was just left in the title.
That was
that
that was put out to the public. And I just want to make sure
Right.
everybody understands that this is strictly for the bulkhead and the living shoreline if that gets to go through.
Yeah, it's specifically bulkhead and living shoreline.
Yeah, those Go Mesa awards are strictly at the water.
Yeah.
So there's no.
I'd like to
And
make a
that was
motion.
just left over from the previous, so that's what I
I'd
thought.
like to make a motion, we move forward with item R.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Altamont. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, yes.
And S, this is just updating the contract with Cypress, removing the marina project. And the only question I had moving forward, as things change, I know we put in there an agreement, an amount. I guess that can be adjusted as we move forward,
Sure.
if things change.
Yeah, this was just for the immediate change so that we could, I could update the overall budget to remove those since those weren't moving forward, the marina-related activities.
Okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion, we move forward with item S.
Motion by Mr. Cox. Second by Mr. Altamont. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item T.
Item T, just make a motion to table it. Ms. Martin said that it was not
Yeah, the one
complete.
group came back with some additional changes, so I just need to table it to the next meeting.
Okay. Table that.
And do we need to make a motion to table it, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to table it. T,
Who made the motion?
I did. Rob, second.
Motion by Mr. Iffy, second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, moving on to Department of reports. Does anybody have anything to pull from the docket of claims? Is there a motion to pull the docket, approve the docket?
Make a motion to approve the docket of claims. All expenditures are appropriate and authorized by law, and spread summary on the minutes.
Motion by Mr. Blackman,
Second.
second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anybody have any questions about the sewer adjustments? Is there a motion to authorize the sewer adjustments?
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Cox,
Second.
second by Mr. Altamont. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, we just have a notice, the City of Ocean Springs will hold a public hearing on the proposed budget and proposed tax levies for FY 2024 and 2025 on August the 27th at 6 PM at the City Hall Boardroom. Patty, you have any comments about that?
No, I just want to make sure everybody knows it's next Tuesday that takes an interest in it, and if they want the budget, they can email me, and I can send it out to them if they want to review it before then.
What's the email address?
It's pgaston@oceansprings-ms.gov.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is agenda public comment. Public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Only 2 speakers will be allowed per side of each issue. Please identify yourself clearly at the podium before speaking.
Ellen Hong, 1217 Sunset. I missed the agenda. It went so fast and it was not called out as new business, this new pier that you guys are approving to go forward with. And I read in the justification that it's going to be for beach activities under Go Mesa funding rules. And I don't believe that concrete slab with trucks for food is what I think. I want to think of beach activities. We think of like playing on the beach with sand and, you know, picnics and all that kind of stuff. So I put out 500 of these stickers today all over town, and without any exception, each person that I talk to is very upset about this new proposed pier and event center. I didn't find one person who wanted it, and I just want you to know that. And also, a couple of things that have come to my attention, people have been writing Save OS asking about this or that, sending us documentation, as you guys all know, with the thing that came out about the property on Rigby property. We're getting a lot of stuff from a lot of people right now. And the thing that you guys did with Securix, whatever that company is, that you approved them sending out these bills for people that had been a picture taken of their license tag. And our city attorney Robert Wilkinson is the one going around from city to city pushing that, and Josh Gregory as the PR person. My understanding of that is it's against the law, and we're pursuing that as well. The other thing is the RDA that has been delegated the authority of you aldermen, and you have to follow the public records rule, the meetings rules. The RDA is meeting without publishing on the website the meeting minutes. We had to do a FOIA request to get that, in which we found out that you are now working with the developer to develop the conference center, and that you're justifying the funding that is going to be coming from another source, from the Gulf Coast Restoration Funding, to help with that conference center. And that was not what we were told. We were told this was going to be a private investor doing this, and now the city is working with the investor. My understanding from the RDA meeting minutes that we finally got after we had to do a FOIA request on it. So that's another thing that a couple of lawyers are looking into, is how you delegate your authority as elected officials to a 5-man appointed group, and then you don't publicly allow us to see the minutes unless we have to FOIA request them, and it takes 3 weeks. So there's so much going on and so many things that we're getting from the public right now. Those are just a couple of the things that I'm a little upset about, and we as citizens. But taking up our 1 mile of beach with this concrete slab is not what anybody wants. Please hear us. The election's just a few months away, and not one of you has actually said, let's sit down and figure out a way to work together. We do want to work together. We love Ocean Springs, and we have shirts and stickers. If anybody wants them, you can follow me to my car afterwards.
Anyone else would like to address the board? Okay.
I'm Cindy Peters. I don't have any major issues other than we can't hear what's going on. You know, are those microphones in front of you? Because even sitting right back there and listening very carefully, everybody's saying we can't hear. And I was wondering are the microphones on for y'all?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know, could you maybe do a test or something? Because with the air conditioning unit, maybe that's part of it, you know, but most of the people here, how many people had difficulty hearing what was going on? So anyway, that's just...
We'll see if we can adjust the volume on these things.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, anyone else who would like to address the board?
My name is Bob Esau. I've been living in the same house for 22 years, and Ocean Springs has destroyed my house. They came in there without a permit. Okay, they pulled all my trees, they pounded out my sidewalk, they pulled out my French drain. Do you think they will pay for it? No. Why not? Ask you, Mayor, why not?
We've tried to get out there and work with you. The last time Bobby and I were out there, we told you we're sending Public Works out there, but we also told you that the first time you started cussing them and yelling at them, they were going to leave the property. They showed up, they got out of their truck, you started ranting and raving, they got back in their trucks, and they drove off.
I did not rant and rave. I would not take 3-foot trees to take care of 15 60-foot trees. My home is destroyed. I had the county come out and do an appraisal on it. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. They appraised my home at $74,000. Other houses in the neighborhood are selling for $250 to $300. You know, and you guys won't fix it. You pulled out my French drain, you pounded out my sidewalk, you pulled all my trees. Let's get it done, okay? Bobby Cox, when he came out, my alderman, when they came out, the first thing he said was, something's gotta be done about this, this is really terrible. So what does he do? He shows up with the city attorney, taking pictures and stuff, trying to protect the city. You're supposed to be there for the taxpayers, Bobby, not for the city.
That's exactly what we were doing, Bob. We were there to make sure if we did anything wrong, that it would be taken care
Did you
of.
do something wrong?
And apparently not that the attorney had said we did anything wrong.
You pulled all my trees, you pounded out my sidewalk, you were in a wetlands, you weren't even supposed to be in there. I've got all the paperwork right here from that entire episode, okay? Now, I'm getting ready to pass away, I've got stage 4 cancer, okay? I've got a 13-year-old boy, okay, who's my grandson, who's gonna need a place to live, and he will not be able to live in that place the way you people have destroyed it. Why don't you take care of business, okay, instead of lying all the time?
We can only do what they allow us to do.
What?
We can only do what we're allowed to do legally.
What do you mean what
We
you're allowed
cannot
to do?
come rebuild your house if we did not cause the damage. And
Yes, you did,
that's
you pulled
the
all my
problem.
trees and the wind did the damage. There's $73,000 worth of damage to my house alone. That does not count my sidewalk, that does not count my trees, okay? You pulled all my trees, you weren't even supposed to be in that area, it's wetlands, okay? I've got all the paperwork here that shows what you were supposed to do, and like the head of Public Works said, I had some extra money, so we just decided to pull the trees. You can't do that kind of thing, Bobby.
That was a Pat Harrison grant project that they did on that ditch, and that's what that was. They extended it. That was a Pat Harrison waterway grant that they did that work.
That was not for my ditch. It was not for my trees. I've got the paperwork. I was supposed to stop at the street up there, okay? You're not supposed to be in waterworks, in public places like that, Bobby. You know that.
They've got to work in drainage ditches, Bob. They've got to make sure they're clear and they drain. That's
What?
They clear drainage ditches. They make sure they drain.
That's 3 minutes, sir.
Okay.
That's 3 minutes.
You have the paper, I have the paperwork.
Bob, it's 3 minutes, thank you.
What?
Your 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
I don't thank you very much because you haven't done your job. If you did your job, you'd be taking care of my
Thank you,
house.
sir. We appreciate your comments. Anyone else who would like to address the board? Okay, we're going to move on to Mayor and Alderman's Forum, but first of all, I'd like to make a couple of comments and clarify some things. Tonight, the board did not vote on any concrete structures. They voted on putting a bulkhead in around the property. The city does not handle the RDA minutes. Their attorney handles the RDA minutes. You'll have to go to them for their minutes. We have not done business with Securex for about a year now.
No, it's longer than that.
About a year and a half maybe, so Securex is out of the city. And the RDA funds, in the development agreement, if it was read closely and properly, you would see that if the RDA gets funds, that amount of fund will reduce the TIF. So if the TIF is $3 million and the RDA gets $3 million and they can give it to the developer to help do the projects that the TIF would take care of, then the TIF is reduced to zero. So we start collecting taxes much quicker on that property. So just to clarify a few things, Alderman Burgess, do you have anything?
Yeah, Alan, thank you guys for those projects that you tackled. I appreciate it. I've just got two. In Culleoka, that easement across from 9705 Iroquois has gotten kind of out of control. And also I'm going to send my reports out this evening for your meeting tomorrow. But that one and the drainage, the culvert ditch on Diller and Nottingham, that enclosed one, it's overgrowing over the fence. I've gotten some calls. And that's it. Thank you.
I got one housekeeping thing I wanted to try and work on. With the historical committee meetings, did we change the nights we have that? Because I remember that the historical committee met and then it came to our meeting, and now it's kind of like, y'all meet on Thursday, we missed the deadline for the meeting tonight. So now it puts those people out 2 more weeks waiting. So can we restructure or pick another date for the historical committee meetings to happen before the Thursday deadline?
The way that it read when I came here, and it was every 2 weeks, the second Thursday of every month. But then I was told that when it falls before planning commission, that you bump it until the following week after planning commissions. The cutoff date is Thursday, so Thursday night's meetings are not going to get on the next docket.
Have we always bumped it? No,
We've always bumped it, but we usually have been, we come in the next morning, and as long as I'm able to tell Vicki what is coming or what to expect, as long as you let her know, then she can put that in. The deadline is Thursday, so that Vicki's not doing everything on Friday.
No, I get that, and I respect that.
But you can, as long as it's passed and there's nothing that has to be done post-meeting, you can work with Vicki to get it on the next meeting.
Oh, I was told that Thursday was the cutoff date, so I didn't go and put
If
it
we
in.
can just work on that, because I know some of those people have architects and stuff that are working on certain things, and it puts it off for 2 weeks.
We bumped it for just consistency, so it'll always be the same week as planning commission. We just did that, but yeah, just work with Vicki. if she-
Okay, thanks, that's it.
But I would rather,
Wait,
I would almost rather just go back to 2 weeks. Because if we go back to 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, I don't know if we're gonna necessarily be running into this. Because it was that way before, but I don't know.
whatever works. I mean, if that's what works, let's do it.
All right.
Get the committee to meet every
I
time.
don't want to skip you.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Bob, you got it?
You can go, Rob. I do have one little.
I'm good, go ahead. I've got one housekeeping item for HR. Need to make a motion to authorize the employment of Hannah Sullivan, Planning Administrator, Step 1, $15.44 hourly rate, effective on or about August 21st, 2024, 1-year probationary status pending successful completion of all pre-employment requirements.
Please read the name
Motion by
again,
Mr.
sir.
Impey,
Oh, okay.
Hannah Sullivan.
I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you.
motion by Mr. Impey,
Second.
second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then I just wanted to, we kind of flew past that part, but I want to thank Carolyn. Carolyn put in a lot of hours on the redrawing of the ward maps in conjunction with Gulf Regional Planning Commission. Did a great job, Carolyn. It's a clean map. Got done a lot quicker than I thought it would. And last meeting, we had a great audit from our auditors. Our staff in the clerk's office did a fantastic job. Once again, another great audit. And Superintendent Lindsay, I see you brought Ms. Gill with you. I know she works hard on that budget. We appreciate y'all being here tonight and what y'all do with the school district. That's all I got, Mayor.
And I just had, I wanted to get everybody's thoughts on the energy analysis, utility analysis. I would kind of like to move forward with RFQ if everybody's on board. I know we did it with the power company, and it paid off for us when we had that done.
We did.
So, I mean, to go out for RFQs and let them,
Well, I don't know how we're gonna write it, so until I'm done with the budget, I don't wanna do it unless.
we can request it and get that done, but
Yeah.
I
It's
just
just
kind of want
something
everybody's
simple.
thoughts. Would y'all like to go ahead and move forward with this? or-
Well, Bobby, they did this years ago with the mini splits and all that went in here that ended up being a nightmare. And
That was before the Mississippi Power.
I get it, but we need to really, I think, pump the brakes on it. I mean, I don't want to move forward too quick. I mean, I'm not against doing it, but we need to really make sure what they're talking about is not the same thing we did.
No, I think he would meet with you, but you gotta meet with all the
I don't,
companies.
yeah. Another thing we've done is we've tried to put locks on them. That's helped tremendously, is to try to lock the systems down some, especially where the public can turn them up, and so.
I did
that's
want to
been some
recognize,
savings.
Patty, the Mary C. was actually, I think, number 2 on the last analysis we got. Now they're
I don't know
doing
if
much
that's good.
better.
Yeah, I've got them doing, they are doing better. We did put the locks over there, but since the building's older, I'm not sure that was a good move on my part. The building needs to be kept cool or something, so.
Well, they're under
I might have
$2 a
messed
square
up.
foot. So they're doing
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Well, they got some air conditioning.
The electric bill's better, but I don't
It's
know if
not
that was
working,
good on
but-
it. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I would like to move forward with the RFQ. I mean, we can wait, or we can make a motion to go ahead and entertain receiving RFQs and go from there. We can pump the brakes.
I think we
after
wait at
see
least
what
till
we
next
get.
meeting and get a little more info.
That's fine, that's fine. We can have one written up so everybody can see it. That's all I got, Mayor.
All right, Bobby, thank you. We have an annexation meeting with the folks in the annexation area scheduled for September 18th at 5:30 at the Civic Center. We will have Waste Pro, we'll have the engineering firm there, we'll have all the departments, and so everybody who is lucky enough to be new citizens of the city of Ocean Springs, we'd like to have you come out there and ask any questions you have and see what's in store for that area for the next 5 years. Raven, we have anything else?
Friday the 4th, at the end of the month, Pocket Chocolate is the band, it's a brass band.
Okay. If you haven't been to Friday at the Fort, you're really missing a great time. Very friendly event. Anybody from 2 to 82 out there dancing, and it's really turned out to be a great event. So, anything else? No need for an executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Arthibon, second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Darren, what you find out today?
Hey, Steven.
Go out, I know, but that's for all companies.
Yeah, you know,
But it's always gone through that. So it was just a clarification. That's why I wanted to ask. They've gone through that.